All right, we are back. D3 action coming at you in the finals, and it's actually Detroit action taking on Boom 2. I'm Matty Marshall, and I'm up here still with Nick Sloviak from Chicago Aftershock. And wow, what
I'm still here.
You're still here. No, I'm glad to have you, man. You're
Thank
you're good at this.
Glad to be here.
You're getting better every time too.
Yeah, you know, because for some reason I'm just not playing on Sunday.
You got that.
I'm up here talking about paintball.
Well, you got the deep broadcast voice.
Yes.
All right, so we'd like to thank our sponsors for the 2011 season for the PSP here, J.I. Milson, PB Nation, Empire Sports. A lot of great sponsors, and without them, we really would not be able to do this. I also like to thank all the support crew and all the guys behind the scenes, Dave Youngblood, Lane Wright, Burt Wright, and the setup crew that pulled off a miracle to even make this event happen after a tornado whipped through this town, and they had to run for cover and then come back and deal with the carnage. And so thanks to them, we actually had an event. So yeah, Boom 2 in action, going to be throwing down here.
So, Boom, Detroit action wearing all black, pretty much. Boom 2 doing the same thing. They got some pretty nice red highlights on their jerseys, which I believe are Draxus jerseys, although I could be wrong. Boom 2, semi-local for us. They've got a lot of guys in northern Illinois and the greater Wisconsin land area, all the way up in Milwaukee and Green Bay, from down in southern Wisconsin, which I'm pretty familiar with. Boom 2 being a lot of younger guys. I have a lot of experience with them. They have an older team, just Boom, not Boom 1. But Boom making the breakout. Watch for a very controlled game from Boom. They like to sit back and shoot their guns.
Oh,
of course, as I say,
off the break,
I like to say that they lose 2 guys. I'm not very good at calling teams out because they die as soon as I like to say something nice about them.
And Detroit action trying to press over here on the Snake side. They lose a player on the Dorito side and then make a move center and Dorito side as well.
They got Big Ben moving up center for him, and that's Ben on Detroit action. Ben, a very well-rounded player. He came out. He's come down to Chicago a few times and grinded with us because he's a good guy.
Yeah, so Ben trying to shoot towards the Snake side. And what he's doing right now is he's got to get his gun up there, start rolling his gun. And you can see there, that's Boom 2 side of the field. And what they're doing is they're trying to get in the Snake, but he's being kept out of there by that gun of Big Ben, like you were saying, Nick. And now Detroit action in a really good field position on the Snake side of the field and on the Dorito side. They have the 40-yard line Dorito and the 50-yard line second notch of the Snake, and he's got a really good shot on that back corner bunker.
And he just needs to keep rolling his gun. You know, hey, keep smart there with your paint. We've seen a lot of people run out of paint today.
Yep.
But you know, keep pressure on that Dorito corner player, and now say Ben from Detroit action is back on the Snake side. Say, but Boom needs to pick up that gun comes off. They got to work their way up there. Player in the corner getting checked out on Boom 2. Big move from the Dorito 2, 40-yard line for Detroit action, but Boom 2 seeing that moving back, but at the same time they lose their corner player.
See, now this is when you need to either listen to your coach or have the composure to realize that, hey, there's one less gun on me. I'm getting shot at less. The only stream, you have to count the streams, man. If there's, one stream coming at me this way, another, the bunker's blowing up from this side, that's got to be from this angle. You got to know those things because that's how you're getting information when your head is face down in the dirt. Yeah, and you know, the Detroit action player was sitting here for probably a good 10 seconds looking at his coach, and you know, I'm looking down here at the people yelling. You can't really tell who a coach is, and it's something that these younger players just kind of have to, I guess, learn or gain the experience in, is, you know, to that feel for when there's no pressure coming on the tape. Hey, maybe I should just look and see and just take that move instead of waiting 10 or 15 seconds for my coach to tell me. Exactly.
Because that will change the game. That's when you can make those game-breaking moves, is when you yourself
because those windows close.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
and
windows
the
close.
coach and the team didn't say something, or you know, the other teams, they have a better chance of recognizing when they lose bodies, and then they adjust accordingly. And you know, you're not going to see it quite as quickly here in the lower divisions. But, you know, these teams made it to Sunday, and they're playing for first and second for a reason.
Yes, that means they're good.
You know, they worked their way up to the ranks.
Yep.
And, you know, and as we go from D4 to D3, you're going to see some good paintball.
Absolutely. And I really actually liked, I mean, yeah, there was a little pause there, and he could have definitely made that move a little bit sooner. But ultimately, man, really good play by Detroit action, I feel, on the Snake side of the field. Can't take anything away from him. Could have sped it up a little bit. But, again, very good job. They assure they get the point. 9 minutes and 39 seconds left to go. Score 1-0. And you're looking at that overhead shot. Let's just talk about the field real quick in case you're tuning in for the first time. You're looking at that Snake structure, and you see that big gap there. Actually, it's not that big when you get down there. I mean, when you're playing, in. It kind of feels like it's a little bit bigger than it really is. But basically, you can bounce some balls in and around there, and there's some good lanes, and it keeps people from being able to just jaunt to the other team's side of the field. So yeah, snake. But now the snake, it's a kind of a crafty snake. You really have to be a good paintball player to excel in this particular, at least in the snake, in this field layout. But there's no coaching on the Dorito sides anymore, and I've seen some awesome moves happen on that Dorito side of the field. But I really think the story of this particular field layout has been the ability of the shooters to shoot people off the break. You've seen a lot of guys die off the breaks, so the teams that are able to capitalize on that have really been effective. And yeah, so that's kind of been the story of this field layout. It's also a counter-punch field, so you're seeing a lot of great moves happen from another move. One move will happen, another great player will see that, see a window, he'll shoot that guy, then he'll make another move, and like the first semifinal game between Dynasty and the Ironman, that was the story of that game. And a lot of close points, but Dynasty was able to win pretty much all the close points and be pretty dominant eventually over the Los Angeles Ironman.
Very well said, Manny. And here you go with the breakout. Both teams semi going short. Boom, making a big grind. There's my speaking skills going to work. Digging out there to the Dorito corner. Still 5 alive. Both teams rolling their guns, staying on those lanes.
Oh my God, we have 5 alive?
Hey, well, I mean, wait. Yes, we still have 5 alive.
Oh my God, lightning is coming in for sure. Yeah, it's 5 alive for both teams, and it's quite the rarity so far today.
And both teams pretty heavily, more heavily stacked on the Dorito side, and for Detroit Action up the middle. Detroit Action now, as we say that, player moving out to the snake side. And then Kirk Wozni from Boom 2 making a big move all the way to the snake 2, going to theirs.
But the referee's going to pull him out, and he's wondering where he got shot.
Wow.
But then immediately after that, Action getting into the snake 2 as well.
Yeah, that would have been a battle. Yeah, so 2 players walking off for Boom 2. Pretty close after a huge move, and now a 3rd player for Boom 2. It looks like Detroit Action having 4 bodies. And now it's going to come down to a 4-on-1.
Action's doing a really good job of sealing the deal. Once the bodies start to fall, they're doing a good job of taking advantage of that.
Yep. I'm going to polish off that last player.
So, solid job by Detroit Action so far here in this match. The score is 2-0. Again, it's a race to 4. So, if Action, they could make quick work of Boom 2. Boom 2 needs to get something together. They thought they did a good job. They got all their bodies out, left alive. But the big thing is, man, hey, look, stay alive in your bunkers. And that there's a lot of different things that really can make that be a problem. One, okay, well, is my body awareness not quite where it needs to be? Did I not walk the field well enough and I don't know the angles coming in? Am I being too aggressive on my gunfights? Am I being too sloppy in my head checks? There's so many different elements that come into when we say dying out of their bunker early.
Yeah.
So, but that's just something that it's a coaching thing, it's a fellow player thing, but ultimately, really, that comes upon yourself. You really have to be honest with yourself in that situation and say, okay, what's going on here? Why is this?
It's definitely not an easy thing to do when you're playing.
No,
to take that in a sense to get that out of body experience. How am I playing tight enough? Am I leading out with my elbow, my loader? Is my feet
telegraphing? Yeah, my telegraphing.
Yeah, how's my communication
snapshot
with my teammates?
Yes.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has to come together and click. And with it being Sunday, and these teams playing for 1st and 2nd, we hope to see the best of the best. But again, too, they're on a new field. They're playing the I guess you'd say the pro field, the center court field, where you got hundreds of people watching and yelling and screaming. So it's definitely a test for these teams, these younger teams. We've got to see how they do, and hopefully Boom 2 can pull it together, because with a 2-0 lead, with Detroit Action holding that, I wouldn't say play slow, but something's got to happen here. They got to regroup and figure out the game plan.
They definitely need to regroup, as they're getting skunked so far. Now again, there's a lot of time left for them to get on the board here, but it looks
like they took a timeout, because the clock's counting down from 2. So
yeah,
it looks like Boom might have taken a timeout.
That's a good timeout.
You can see them from up here in their pits, kind of huddled up. Someone's definitely making some hand gestures, so
yeah,
trying to get their point across.
Yeah, Boom gesturing. Yeah. You can tell he's doing the hand slap with his back of the hand into the palm, very fervent.
And this, to me, honestly, it's kind of surprising to me. I've had a chance to play against Boom, their organization, quite a bit at our home field. And these guys they're pretty solid players. I mean, they're Division 3. They're right where they need to be, but they like to sit back and hold their lanes and They shoot a lot of paint. They communicate very well, and not so much seeing that this one. I don't know if they're just either kind of panicking because they're losing that early body as opposed to Detroit action. But I really hope that they can turn this one around, and we'll see what they do. We got one of their players walking over, talking to their sideline, see if they can figure something out with them.
Yeah, and while we have a moment, I just wanted to let everyone know that the PSP New Jersey Open will be taking place on August 12th through the 14th, and it's going to be a Top Gun paintball. So, you know, it's the 4th event of the year. Tune up for World Cup. Definitely want to get out and check that out, and head out to the Northeast.
Yeah, which would be nice because I don't think we've been out there in quite some time.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. I mean,
Boston, there's been some events up in that area, but really New Jersey?
Yeah, there hasn't been an event out there for a while. No, there's definitely been events up there, but there hasn't been one there for a while. And there is a lot of paintball up there. So
yeah, quite a bit on the East Coast.
Yeah, exactly. So it's great to see the you know, the expanse and reach of these events as we travel around. You know, like going in Galveston, I thought that was pretty cool. I'd never been to Galveston before.
I didn't either.
So, you know, a lot of times you go to...
I never knew it was an island.
Yeah.
Who thought there was an island?
Yeah. And so, yeah, headed to New Jersey.
So prepare your plane tickets, ladies and gents, because we're going to New Jersey. And here we go. We have the third breakout of the set. Big breakout by Boom 2 taking the center A, but also losing a player on the break.
And we were talking about that earlier, and I have not seen anyone get shot off the break going up to do that. No one's got shot.
Very rarely. I mean, maybe going up to some of these center towers, you're gonna catch one from a player running out. But you know, with Boom making that move, he's shooting the Dorito side. He didn't drop one of the Detroit players. And if you look at the Detroit guys, they're rolling their guns. Here he's making a move out. Let's see if he gets clipped. It looks like he might have, but no signal from the ref. So
yeah, no signal from the ref. So look at this. And as far as Action, Action, real good lineup. But you know, basically they're just rolling their guns right now. You can see they're getting dug in like ticks into their bunkers. All you're seeing is just goggles and tips of barrels, which is not good for Boom, because Boom's going to have to try to come and dig them out. They have a 2-point lead with 7. I was going to say, probably not the best thing to do to dig in yet. No. Put another point on the board, let a little more time tick off the clock.
I'd say just go at it. Just win. I'd want to win. Let's go out there and smash these guys.
That's true, but you want to go smart. You know, if you already have the lead, the last thing you want to do is be like, oh, we're destroying these guys. We're going to go out and smash them. And then all of a sudden you get a little too aggressive and run your death. Next thing you know, it's a tie game with a couple minutes left, and that's how you lose games. So yes, absolutely, take what they give you, but you want to play smart when you get that lead. You want to, like, you go to your spot. If they give you something, take it. If you can earn it, then earn it. But it's one of those things that you really kind of have to let the game. You want to still enforce your will, but you don't want to be getting in unnecessary gunfights or try to make any of those like superstar big moves that you would need to make. Like Boom right now, they got to do that. That's what they need to do. Boom needs to be potentially running into guns, make somebody miss, you know, especially as more time ticks off this clock. They still got 6 minutes and 23 seconds left, so you don't want to get too crazy yet. It's retreating.
Yeah, and I can see the point. Yeah, I said I'm very impressed with watching Detroit Action play. I mean, these guys are on their guns.
They look good.
They're shooting their zones. They look very good.
They look calm, too.
Exactly.
And I think that
you know what I mean? Very calm.
Composure is hard to teach. The only way you're going to get that is to have somebody that inherently can get that in themselves, and then for them to get a little bit of experience. So it's good to see a younger team like this trying to work their way up the ranks with the composure they have. This is a big game. They're playing for the win right here. Yep. You know, and obviously
1 point, they got it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're 1 point away. Now, it's kind of easy to have a little bit of composure when you've already put up some points, but they've been showing this the entire time.
And say, again, with 6 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, still plenty of time for Boom to come back and do something. But we will see, ladies and gents, coming up here in this next point in about 1 minute and 5 seconds. But this will be a good. It's a good test for teams. You know, it sucks getting second place, making it all the way up. But hopefully, these teams say with the webcast, they can go back, watch the games, and learn from their mistakes. You know, I mean, you can't look at, hey, we got second place as, oh man, that sucks. It's like, hey, we made it this far.
Yeah.
Take those baby steps. Look at those small goals, and then set new ones for the next event for practice. You know, I mean, there's a lot of for these players now. There's a lot of what's the word? Things at their disposal. that they can use to help them out. I mean, you know, have your friends out here watching. You know, get that critical feedback from your friends.
It's just so hard to take that criticism. Sometimes.
But I mean, you know what?
But it's
I think
crucial.
That's what makes a team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's definitely hard. I mean, for me, for any of my teammates that tell me something that I want to think I'm the best paintball player when I go out there and I try to do the best I can. And when they tell me I sucked at something, like, no, you sucked. You know, it's really hard to fight that and swallow your pride. And because I want to be better than anyone on my team. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie.
Being honest, of course.
You know, like I want to set the example.
So Boom fighting right now, and you should because you're a leader on your team. So right now, Boom trying to get back in it and stave off a fat goose egg here.
Big move by
in
Kirk
the final.
Snake for Boom 2.
Yeah, Boom 2 and Snake 2.
Sippy holds that lane.
Nice job, able to take out the back corner on the Dorito side of the field.
And so it looks like we've got 5 alive for Boom and 3 alive for Detroit Action. Or maybe, 2 alive? 3.
3 alive. Yeah, but they're all from the center over to the Snake side, and they're all looking to the Snake side.
So there we go. Boom making the move on the Dorito side. Let's see if they can get that angle on that 50 Dorito, see if we can get that shot.
Yeah, and here comes Boom. He's going to destroy the back of this player right here. Yep, he gets torched down, and now just 2 players left alive, and it's going to get ugly shortly.
Yep, that's it. Boom taking their first point of the day, and a must-win point for Boom. Running that flag in, hanging it, trying to conserve as much time on the clock.
And like you're saying, must-win point, because now look at what situation we have. 5 minutes left, 5:01. We got ourselves a 2-point match. That's about 2.5 minutes, obviously, for each point potentially, and that's enough time, especially the chaotic way that some of these points have been going here. You know, so good job by Boom to stay in it.
Yeah, and then again, though, it's another must-win point.
Yes, it's a continual must-win point for them.
Yes,
from here on out. But I wanted to go back to what you were saying. You know, it's tough. I think one of the reasons it's really hard to once you get to a certain skill level in paintball to continue to try to upgrade yourself, and because when you go out and play, you have to have that brash, arrogant desire to be the best in the world, at least at the top of the professional level, and that's a hard thing to meld and merge with the ability to really take your peers' criticism to heart and try to make your weaknesses into your strength. And I was talking to Nikki Q about this yesterday, and I think that Nikki's a perfect example of somebody who, you know, started off as a really kind of an arrogant kid, who's we all love to death, and he was a very fun guy to hang out with, and a great competitor, and you know, great guy, but at the same time arrogant, you know, and very brash and egotistical about his skills and his place in the world. And man, you know, it was really amazing to see him transform his weaknesses into his strength, and he really transformed himself from a guy who was a front guy, making like big superstar moves, and he was good, and he was one of the best, and he got to the top of the game and played on some great teams, but he didn't really truly become a world championship caliber player until he really honestly looked at his game, what he was lacking, and he went out and made a conscious decision to make that weakness, his unclutchability, into his strength. And now he's a really clutch guy, and as he's proven by winning championships. And I think that if that's a lesson for everybody. I mean, you can see it in Heroes for a Day, you know, Pat's film for Excessa. I mean, that transformation actually happened on film. All right, so here it is. Action still 1 point away from a win.
And Boom losing 2 players pretty close to simultaneously on the Snake side, leaving that whole side open for Detroit Action to take advantage of, which I don't think they will. I think they're just going to sit on that side and roll their guns.
Yeah, Action losing their corner player on the Dorito side, but then making a move to the Snake.
And all going all the way to Boom's side. Good field awareness there, seeing that opening to do that, and looking to put the nail in the coffin here on Boom. But
he's got a great shot on that back corner, as long as the back corner's not shooting at him. Watch. Oh, might have got one in on him. That's a bunker you got to assume is hot unless somebody tells you they're not. You got to know that lane. As soon as you come up, it should be streamed down.
And that's a big thing for younger players.
Yes.
You know, up-and-coming players in divisional, you know, you have to know your shots. You have to know when you make it, and especially big, making those big moves into the other side of the field, you have to know it's not just walking the half that you're playing on. It's when I get to this side of the field, I have to know that when I come up, I have to be instantly shooting these spots.
And another trick that honestly, and a lot of guys out there let you know a little bit of trick, I don't know, but it's a great one, is that when you're face first in the dirt, sometimes the way these poles are set up, you can be face turned and be like, okay, if I'm midway in between those poles, I know that's where the back center is. So you don't even have to head check. You know, if I come up right where that pole is, I'm right in the back center, and it's an easy kind of a cheating way almost to identify where you need to shoot. And look at this. So here goes action. Congratulations to them, as it looks like they are going to be taking the Division III title here in Chicago. Boom. Had a good point last one, but just not enough, as action proving that they are the better team here today. Walking that flag in. And the signal for the hang has been given, and
let's make sure he's clean.
Yeah, just checking to make sure he's clean before we.
Yep.
And he's good. Clean. The hang is good. So congratulations to Detroit Action. They take the D3 title here. They should be proud of themselves. They played a great game. And just boom, did not have enough. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board and figure it out for the event in Jersey in August.
I'll see them in a couple of weeks. And I'd say I feel good being up here to be able to watch this game, you know, because I got some things I can say to them. And
this is the best place to scout.
Yeah, you are so correct. Yeah. You know what I mean?
All right, so we will be back for the Division II finals as well as D1 and Pro coming at you this afternoon. I'm Matty Marshall with Nick Sloviak. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.